It's Chi Brown for Considered Culture. Folks, I'm seeing a lot of negative shots thrown back and forth between people, friends, family, and others about this Ahmaud Arbery case. And while this is a serious case in terms of someone losing their life, we shouldn't make it into a divisive issue so where it's dividing people. I don't think this case would have made nearly as much noise if the roles were reversed. If you had a black neighborhood that was continuously being burglarized by a white person, breaking and entering or quote unquote trespassing into a property that belonged to an elderly black person, and things got missing, that if the black community or that black neighborhood mobilized to try and prevent these break-ins and try and stop this particular individual from doing it, or individuals, we don't know. But in any case, if black people from that neighborhood that I'm kind of imagining here, if they had come together to prevent someone from breaking and entering or trespassing, depending on how you want to look at it, then this wouldn't be a story. And if the black people use guns, I really don't think it would be a story. Now, if we looked at this case similarly and nobody had gotten shot, right? If we just saw white men on tape, on video, so showing my age with the tape thing. If we saw white men on video stopping this guy from jogging up the street, and he was held down until police got there, or held at gunpoint until police got there, I think that people still might be a little bit offended or upset by that. I think the main arguments I'm getting is that these guys should not have been out there with weapons to begin with, drawn. So, okay, all right. But what if the roles were reversed? What if this was a black neighborhood and this was a white person doing the stopping? What would you say then? You know, I'm a huge advocate of black people policing their own neighborhoods, of black people exercising their Second Amendment rights, because we have a lot of crime in some black communities. So I think that, you know, this idea that protecting your own community is wrong is a wrong-headed idea from black people, because when it becomes an issue for us, we should be able to do the same thing. We should be able to draw our guns and protect our communities. And I think that's what ultimately what this is about here. And I hear so many different arguments, and people are so focused on the fact that these two guys had guns and they shouldn't have had guns. They should have waited for the police. They should have done all these different things they should have done. Okay, perhaps. But is it against the law? I don't know. And hindsight is 2020. Those guys didn't know whether this guy had stolen something or not. You never know. It could be in those cargo pant pockets. You never know. But what we do know is that, you know, this thing ended badly. And it will go to trial, apparently. And we'll see what happens. But this video is not about that. This video is about what would happen if the roles were reversed. And we just happen to have some footage of an incident in 2015 in Georgia where the roles actually were. Let's take a look.
Just stay there and wait for the police. It's that simple. You gonna get in my car? What, are you trying to rob me?
No, sir. No, sir.
You thought you were just gonna take my shit?
No, sir, not at all.
Apparently. But you picked the wrong motherfucker to try to rob today.
I wasn't trying to rob you, sir.
You weren't trying to rob me. You just get in random people's cars, huh?
No, I thought you were my friend.
You thought I was your friend.
Now, I'd like to point out here that the black gentleman here, he doesn't know whether that guy actually thought he was his friend or not. Yet and still, he still pulled the gun on this person. This guy could have just been jumping in his car just like he said, and he thought he was a friend of his. He could have thought a lot of things. He could have thought he was, I don't know, there to meet. Maybe he had planned to meet somebody and he thought that was the car. But we didn't see the altercation. We didn't see what happened when he pulled his gun. But he obviously has his gun on this gentleman. This gentleman said he tried to get into his car, and we don't know for what reason. Is that a felony, getting into somebody's car by accident? I mean, if it was by accident, it could be by accident. I mean, you got to use the same logic you use in the Ahmaud Arbery case here. Apply that same logic, the same logic I'm hearing, because everybody's saying, oh, he went into this house just to kind of take a look. Well, we don't know that. Just like we don't know if this white man on the ground here got into this guy's car for nefarious reasons or not. Yet and still, he has his gun held on him. Now, eventually the police are going to come. So what do you think? I mean, it's a black man with a gun. Let's watch and see what happens.
Just let me go close your door.
What's that?
You may go close your door.
Yeah, I think my car's still running too.
All right.
Push the button and turn it off, please.
Yep. Hey, congratulations.
Hurry up.
Obviously, the police are on their way, and we'll see what's going to happen. He's flagging them down. Let's see. He wisely places his gun down because the police have arrived.
Thank you, officer.
Good job, man.
I appreciate it.
It's 23.
My weapon is right here.
Tell him to stay.
I'll pull up. You're doing it. Thank you for being out.
Well, geez, that was unexpected now, wasn't it? The white officer just walked up to him and shook his hand, told him thank you. And the white officer doesn't even know what this guy was doing. You know, he doesn't even know whether this guy had ill intentions when he got into the black man's car. We don't know that. None of us know. And yet and still, he's still being treated as if he did the right thing here. With his gun out, drawn, and everything in Georgia. Now, the logic for a lot of people is that this was wrong. This is not the right thing to do. He should just call the police and wait for him. He could have waited for this white guy to explain his situation. He didn't wait. He just pulled out the gun. Now, you see how far this man's car is from that white man, so he had to have gotten out and walked a significant different distance, and he still stopped him with the gun. So, I mean, this argument that people are making that you should just follow a person until the police come. I mean, he could have obviously just followed this white gentleman till the police came and then, you know, pointed him out when the police arrived. No, he held him there. He detained him using citizen's arrest. So I just want people to start thinking a little bit more logically about this. I know these situations aren't exactly the same, but, you know, to say that people can't use guns to detain in citizens arrest circumstances, under those circumstances, I mean, that's just not correct because, again, I think that, you know, when you look at statistics, black people have the highest amounts of victimization rates. So black people are the most victimized group. If you're talking about people getting robbed, beaten, murdered, black people have the highest victimization rates, bar none, especially violent crimes. So we should be able to protect ourselves. And we don't always know what a person's intent is. We also have to note that the white guy here, he didn't attack that guy with the gun. I mean, because if he attacked him, you could expect that he was going to use that firearm. You can't expect that he wasn't. He didn't run at him. He wasn't 15 yards away and then running at him like, you know, Ahmaud Arbery did. We don't know how this situation exactly played out, but I just want to show you that things could go a different way, and it's not about race here. It wasn't about race in the Ahmaud Arbery case that we can see. We don't have any evidence of that. The only evidence we have is the media injecting that into it, and the lawyers and attorneys who stand to gain quite a bit from being in the news every single day, they have an incentive to try and say that this is a race-based case. But what's the evidence other than one side being white and one side being black? That's my time. I'm Chi Brown for Consider Culture.
No more Yaza Baza.